fuck, the song is still going on. Jesus. I didn't think it was that long in runtime.
Maybe just loops or something. I don't know. I feel like we've gone pretty far into that song once or twice.
It definitely doesn't loop. That I can confirm. What's going on, people? Late night Q&A here. Joined by Kieran. We were just joined by Terrence earlier doing a reaction to the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer.
All that.
Terrence's reaction, not my own. What's going on, man? You're back from a trip. I guess this is a little bit of a preview of tomorrow night and what we have in store. What's going on? It's been a while.
Not too much. Yeah, I just got back from a trip. I went to Halifax, which was really cool, and it's awesome. It's amazing. I recommend it to everyone. It was like, it's amazing. It's a great place to be, and it was definitely very relaxing. So, yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
Good. I'm glad you had a good time. I'd say a fair amount has happened in the time that you've been away. Specifically with Halloween Kills, I think you had already gone when we found out that they were going to show Halloween Kills 13 times in Venice, Italy, and to the public.
Yeah, I heard about that. I watched the streams, but I don't think I watched any of them live.
So, by the way, all Q&A guys, so feel free to fill the chat with whatever you want. If you want to send in a super chat and support the channel on that level, you can do so too. It's definitely encouraged.
You could support the channel on any level, even a ridiculous, very generous level.
Oh, Jesus. Apparently so. $100 super chat in from Intel Wild. Dude, that is extremely generous. Hope it's all going well for you, my man.
Yeah, I hope we're providing you with the content that is equal to that amount of money for you, but that's awesome. I'm glad we have supporters that enjoy the channel that much.
Let's not forget, it's about like $63 is to us, 37 or so, 38 or so is to YouTube. So YouTube's responsible for providing 38% of that entertainment, not just us. But no, yeah, definitely. If anybody wants to super chat the channel, it goes a long way. I'm going to start off with question number one, dude. What are your thoughts on just showing the film 13 times in Italy and 5 in public? And we already know Joker had a bunch of stuff leaked from Venice a couple of years ago. Doesn't it kind of seem inevitable at this point?
I mean, well, for me personally, it's not a big deal because I read the script. I have seen, I watched the trailer. I know like Johnny didn't want to watch the trailer because he didn't want to spoil it. And like I've said before, Thaden's like that too. He's like, I don't want to watch, a 3-minute trailer because I don't want to, but I did watch the trailer and see everything. And, because I know the script, I could link, oh yeah, this is from that scene and this is from that scene. And so, I mean, it's not going to be a big deal if they spoil anything for me. But like in general, it sucks for fans who are going to get things spoiled for them in chats and things like that. Like, I don't, hopefully nobody here is like going on about what happens in, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or like other channels I watch, same thing happens. People are about spoiling it for people who don't want to be spoiled. So it sucks for them. As more people see the leaks and stuff like that. So it sucks. Probably wasn't a very good idea to do this, but whatever. If people who really want to find out what happens, the script I don't think is impossible to find.
No, I don't think it is either. Again, that's not how we. Oh, look at this. Terrence is in the chat. What the? No comment, sir. No comment.
Thanks, Terrence.
Richard, how's your days going? How about you, Kieran? How's your day going?
Pretty good, actually. I got a lot done and got to take my daughter to a hockey practice where she let in like 0 goals. So, and in a practice, that's pretty awesome. Because probably well over 100 shots.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Instead of
She's
you feeling
doing really
like,
good. My daughter's already a better athlete than I was as a full adult. So
I've definitely had better days, but I'll leave some of that for another day. Sorry, the chat's lagging on me here. Looks like first up's a Game of Thrones question. Do you think Tyrion Lannister was a Targaryen, or at least of Targaryen blood? I'll let Kieran go first.
do I think Tyrion Lannister was a Targaryen?
Yeah. I think the big part of that theory is the dragons didn't eat him when he came up to them, and there's belief that he might have been the third dragon rider, and that maybe his mom was actually Targaryen.
I have never considered that at all, so I don't even know how to answer that. I would say no. The easiest percentage is to say no because it's unlikely, but I can't argue that logic-wise. I've never really thought about that. I've never heard that one.
I've definitely heard that one a ton, but I'm still gonna say no. I don't think that's a thing. I think it's fan fiction, and people.
Well, if it's his mother was a Targaryen, then they're all Targaryens, right?
I think it would have been his father is Targaryen, that Tywin wouldn't actually be his blood father, sort of thing.
That's always possible because, if his dad was like a general commander, whatever, he probably was away from his wife a lot, and women have needs, but, and everybody fucks everybody on that show. So.
Intel says he loves Terrence and Sean. No love for Kieran, apparently. How can there be no love for Kieran? Wow.
I thought me and Intel were friends, based on the fact that I was playing a character named after him in Haddonfield. But if he likes Terrence better, then he has no taste.
Tomorrow they announced the TIFF 2021 schedule. I get select tickets on the 30th. But the real question is, will Halloween Kills be at TIFF this year? I believe the answer to that is no. And I was pretty sure they already released the schedule, or at least the lineup. Maybe not the schedule of when the movies are airing and the show times, but the movie lineup is out there already, and it does not feature Halloween Kills.
You said before it doesn't really count as part of the lineup anyways, though, does it?
Not when it's a Midnight Madness release, correct?
Yeah.
Fuck people who spoil it. Yeah, Linton. By the way, Linton is one of our newest Patreon supporters, so big thank you to you for that, man. I think you always need to respect people, and you don't shove a spoiler down someone's throat if they don't want to know what it is. If you think something's spoilery, message the person first and let them know ahead of time, and let them decide if they want to, have it spoiled or not. There's too many people that don't respect other people on that level.
Well, I mean, the internet is a big, dick swinging contest where everybody wants to prove that they're smart to everybody else online, and keyboard warrior, this and that. So people like to go on and spoil things because they like to go on and be like, oh, I'm I'm Mr. Big Shot. I know everything. I do, like, I've already read the script, and like, I've read the script. That doesn't make me any cooler than anyone else. Like, but people on there like to go on and pretend, that they're the coolest person in the world, and they don't give a shit, spoiling it for other people. So I don't know. It's the internet. The problem is, like, for everybody, you need to realize that the internet is like a section of people who want to be noticed. And so it's not the general public. If you think, like, people were trying to tell me before, like, Rick and Morty fans were super toxic, and I've met nothing but awesome Rick and Morty fans. I've met lots of people talking about Rick and Morty on like online and in Reddits and things like that, who seem to be assholes. But anyone that I've reached out to, any one person, and been like, hey, like, what do you think about this? They're always like super nice. It's the people who like pretend they're fans and fucking just going around the internet trying to piss people off. And so it's the same with people who are trying to spoil things for everyone. They're just trying to piss people off. They're not real fans. Often they're not real fans. They could be misguided fans, but I think a lot of times they're not even really fans. They're just online and like to pick fights.
Yeah, I can see that. I definitely can see that. Actually brings me to another point that I messaged the group about today, and it was like part of me misses doing a Star Wars show with the people that you do the show with and just talking old school Star Wars. And we still talk Star Wars on the channel when, there's news, and you bet your ass we'll be reviewing every fucking episode of Kenobi when it comes out, and probably Book of Boba Fett too. But I don't miss dealing with Star Wars fandom and how just fucking utterly insane it is. Like people that feel like making their own opinion feel validated is legitimately more important than raising money for cancer research for kids. It's like, wow, if you have that much jealousy towards another human being over anything, you have a problem. And it just, nothing's changed. I tuned into a Star Wars podcast. I won't say which one it was, but it was after we did a show last week, and I seen they were on YouTube, so I tuned in for 2 minutes. And it literally, I haven't listened to this podcast in like 3 years. And within 2 minutes of me listening, the one guy who's always been a bit of an uptight guy, literally criticized a whole section of fans, being like, well, if you don't see it this way and this is the stuff you like, then you're the problem. It's just like, I've been listening for 2 minutes. And it's so fucking toxic, man. And I hate it because growing up, it wasn't like that. Not on that.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. It wasn't like that quite until prequels came out. And, well, I guess that would be like that for you. I don't know. Do you remember the prequel times? Because, like, I remember quite vividly when those movies came out that everyone was happy about the Phantom Menace until about a week or two after it. And then it seemed like everyone I knew turned on it pretty quickly. Like, everyone was happy. They were like, you know what? We love the lightsaber fighting and whatever. And then really quickly it came to like, but we should have got more. We should have got this. Why was this so boring? Why? Like that Anakin kid was so annoying. And like, I remember people turning on it pretty quickly. And you know, I've always been pretty good about the prequels. I like the prequels enough. I mean, there's only one thing I don't like about the prequels. But yeah, no, the Star Wars fan base is definitely a lot of people who want to pretend that they know exactly how every character thinks and how every character is, and how, you know, they know exactly which canon is canon, and you know it's you know, yeah, I don't know, it's hard to deal with, because when people say Star Wars fans are the worst, I think they're right. They're the worst bunch that I know of any group fandom. They're way worse than Halloween fans that I know. They're way worse than horror fans that I know. They're way worse than Rick and Morty fans that I know. They're worse than sports fans that I know, and sports fans can be really out there. But I feel like the people on both sides of Star Wars fandom are equally bad. Like the people who are like the prequels, you know, are the best and the sequels suck, and the people who are like the sequels who are bad, but the prequels suck. And you know, or I think I said that twice the same way, but anyways, you know what I mean. They're both like, they should both just be like, hey, like, I like watching Star Wars. This one I didn't like so much, so I won't bother talking about it. Like, you know, I'll pass on it. I like every Star Wars movie for some reason. Some I would rather rewatch, but I'm not coming on here to complain about them other than that one thing.
I just can't believe it goes so far as to, if someone has a different take than you, even if it's shit, and the take that I seen the other day was shit, make no mistake about it, there wasn't any due diligence done on it whatsoever. But then to go as far as saying, yeah, I don't give a shit if this guy has raised money for you know, kids cancer research, that doesn't matter. His Star Wars take a shit, so he shits. Just like I just
Well, I assume I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And I don't like that particular program, but I don't go on and bother people about it. Like, I know that I know that, you know, just because I don't think a podcast is interesting or a YouTube show is interesting doesn't mean that it's not good. It means I don't particularly like it. I don't, you know, there's another channel, another horror channel that we talk about on this place, you know, that we're not all particular fans of. And it's the same thing. Like, I don't think they're bad for everyone. I just think I don't like them, and that, you know, whatever. I'll go ahead and watch my Dave McRae's and my, you know, Jimmy Champagnes and guys I do like, and the ones I don't, I just don't watch. I don't need to come on here and bitch about it.
Yeah, no, I see that. I totally do. I just I don't get why when people have different fandom takes that all of a sudden it has to turn into some, you know what, let's not even say fandom takes. It is like that a little bit, but like a different Star Wars take. All of a sudden it has to turn into this like personal attack on the person, and like, and the weird part is, you know, obviously that particular person we're talking about in his channel is just ginormous, right? So he
Yeah,
had
there's no way you can get that big without having haters, you know.
yeah, he
And
had
I know that he had a stream where he went on with someone who, you know, made fun of him on his channel, and he had that guy come on his channel and literally just had a conversation with him.
yeah.
I respected him so much more after that, but I still don't like his content. So I just don't watch it because I'm not interested.
He has so much influence, obviously, because of the size of his channel and his following. And it's like these other places that have their own decent sized following get just so fucking jealous that it's disgusting, really. Like, don't like the person, don't like his content, that's fine. But when you start saying that that shit's more important than, say, him raising money for kids' cancer research, it's like you're just being stupid. Because at the end of the day, he could talk about The Last Jedi for 24 hours, and if that's the cause that he's supporting, then I'm totally behind it. It just, and the amount of people that like just can't wait to jump on someone else, whether you're a sequel lover, sequel hater, prequel lover, prequel hater, it doesn't matter. It's like there's these different factions of groups, and the second there's an argument, you know, you got troops on both sides lining up. They can't wait to fight one another, and it's just like, this is the problem.
I'm not going to lie. I do every once in a while. I'm watching a video or something like that, and I see someone being like, you know, Hayden Christensen was perfect for the role. Then sometimes I comment, and sometimes I get in a little argument, but for me, it never breaks down to being like, well, if you think that, you're a fucking moron. Like, because you know, that all I can do is say the things that I believe, and, you know, I'm not going to go attacking someone personally. I'm not out there to ruin anyone's day, but some people like to be, you know, some people like to be like, oh, you're triggered. Oh, you're a snowflake. And then all this, you know, you're yelling at someone you don't know behind a keyboard that you don't know where it is. You've never met the person. Like, why? Like, it could be someone who could be your best, you know, it could be someone who could be your best friend in real life, but because they believe the different Star Wars take than you do, you're going to be like, you're a fucking moron. You're not a real fan. You know, whatever. I don't know. That's the internet problem. That's the whole fucking, just like you were saying in your favorite Bo Burnham's internet song, you know. That's what it is. It's all that stuff on the internet, and that's what it is.
Oh yeah, it's frustrating. It just, it made me so happy that I wasn't in that space anymore, and that we made the decision to cover all fandom stuff and not just Star Wars and Halloween. And
wait, are you giving up? What you're are you telling us what the place is now?
What do you mean?
Well, you kind of spoiled it there by saying you left there. So anyone who knows where you left knows what you're talking
Well,
about.
I meant like I left doing a Star Wars podcast.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah.
left the world of Star Wars podcasting. I wish we still did it, and, you know, like, yeah, when Mando comes back and or Book of Boba or Kenobi, then all you guys who are like, oh, Star Wars, you better be prepared because we'll be talking Star Wars. I'm really excited to get into the Game of Thrones stuff too. So,
Oh my god, Game of Thrones. I just finished actually when I go up, I'm probably gonna watch episode 4, but I just finished episode 3 of season 1, um, which ends with Arya and Syrio, and Ned watching on, and they've already put together that they think it's Tyrion that's behind it, and
yep.
yeah, no, it's I I love this show so fucking much, and it's why, like, if Jensen's awake or if people are multitasking in the same room or whatever, I won't watch it. There's just way too much detail that goes into every single scene of that show that gives it so much rewatchability that I wanna be able to solely focus on the TV. My face is not buried in my phone during it. Um, it just that show needs your attention, or there's no point in watching.
It is that is the real way. Like, man, for some people, like anyone watching this, I don't know who's watching this or what, because we're just kind of going on, but the perfect way to watch anything you really want to watch is to put your phone somewhere where you can't reach it.
Yep.
Because I know that I will find a reason to go on my phone, whether it's a commercial break, and then once it comes back from commercial, I'm still on my phone, or I want to look up which actor was in this movie or whatever. But it takes away from the whole experience, and you'll find if you just put your phone out of reach, like totally out of reach, you actually have to get up and go get it. You probably won't pick it up. So I don't know. That's the way that I watch movies now. Is basically I make sure that my phone's over there. A lot of times I will make sure that other people in my family's phones are over there so that we're all getting the real experience. Actually, that was like a big deal about going to Halifax was I wasn't online for pretty much the whole time I was there. And it was just a vacation from online as well. So.
I know you saw that we just had Terrence on here.
Yep.
Guess what? Matt Murdock and Charlie Cox are trending. Just saying, Terrence, if you're watching out there, there's even someone basically blew up the picture and tried to make it enhance the quality a bit, and it's 110% Charlie Cox.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw like even when you said that and he slams the books down, you could see it. It like I guess you can kind of picture anyone's head on anyone's body, but he does have a small stature. He does, it looked like what could be him. And it totally makes sense that they would, he would arrive to, be the lawyer.
Man, you start involving him in more stuff, and I'm so on board.
There's been reports for a while that they wanted to bring in not only him but Punisher and Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin, and
he's so good.
Yeah, I mean, think about him being in the movie, possibly, right?
The rumor is out there.
He was in the Sinister Six version that was on the Spider-Man animated show.
He was. He's basically the head of it, kind of.
I don't think they're bringing Chameleon in there, but they should bring Scorpion as well because there's a Scorpion in the jail. So
we'll see. We'll have to see who it makes up. I keep hearing Sandman too, and that's the one to me where I kind of go, eh.
I think we would have possibly heard about him, like the actor being there by now. I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're not. It seems like they're batting zero when it comes to keeping spoilers leaked. But I mean, I guess you wouldn't know until you see the movie, right?
Yeah. Oh well, shit. The whole movie's basically been spoiled already, so let's show nothing in the trailer.
Yeah,
I give away too much. I did feel like that was a bit of a missed opportunity for them. I thought you had an opportunity to give Andrew and Toby their Chewie we're home moment at the end of the trailer.
I mean, maybe, but you're giving away that moment then, right?
Don't you want people to know that they're in it though? When we're talking movie ticket sales and all the, money studios have lost at this point. Wouldn't you want to advertise the fact that they're in it? If they were just like pop up at the end type characters, I'd be like, okay, save the surprise. But I don't think that's the case in this movie, not from what I've heard.
I don't know. I think it makes sense because you keep that moment and like these Spider-Man movies that we're getting now are very popular. I don't think there's people out there who are like, oh, like I don't like this new Spider-Man. I would rather Tobey Maguire. I know there are people like that because there's people on Earth.
I like the new movies, but
Yeah.
so far it's the least of the three series, in my opinion.
You like the Andrew Garfield ones better than the...
Yeah, I love Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker. I think he's amazing. Second movie's kind of but
the second of two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked them.
The third movie was supposed to be Sinister Six.
So. I know. I did like all the Spider-Man movies so far, including the Spider-Man 3 that a lot of people don't like. I've enjoyed all Spider-Man movies that have come out to date. Andrew Garfield movies are trash.
Dude,
I'm so happy that somehow, I don't know how it happened. I don't think you've ever told me how it happened, but getting Michael Bish on here on this network has been awesome because I love his Your Mom's a Hoe and all of his he's a funny guy. I'm glad that we got him in here in the Fandom Empire family somehow.
Big bucks. The prequel is going to be amazing when it comes out. He's talking about House of the Dragon, or pardon me, I guess now it's actually called Game of Thrones.
House of the Dragon, yeah.
Which, I mean, why not? Milk the name. I think it's going to be amazing too. I think the cast is so strong. I know a general, direction of which way the story is going. And it starts off in a similar way to Game of Thrones, but with a different set of events. The difference is when Game of Thrones started, it was very low budget right off the bat. Their first 2 seasons, there wasn't much budget there whatsoever. They basically put all their money into the season 2, episode 9 in the second season to give them like a big episode. Because the battle that we don't even get to see in season 1, where Tyrion somehow, that whole thing was supposed to be filmed. It was supposed to be this wild, crazy, insane battle. No budget, completely ran out. So
are you talking about like right when Tyrion gets knocked out?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to see all that, and we didn't. We
basically just saw that Tywin arrived, and we're just supposed to believe that he had won the battle.
Yep. And so then when we finally get Battle of Blackwater in season 2, it's like, okay, well, this is like our first big episode here. But the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, they didn't have a big budget. That's not the case with Game of Thrones House of the Dragon. They have a big budget right off the bat. If you love the whole dragon thing, get ready. You're about to see a lot of dragons. That's just the era that they are in this movie.
It was supposed to be like 13 dragons around, right?
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, and they all play into the storyline, right? So some of them with bigger importance than you think. And I can't remember if the skull that we see in King's Landing during Game of Thrones is one of the active dragons at this point. I think it might be. And I don't even remember the name of that dragon off the top of my head. I'm assuming I'm about to hear it in one of the episodes coming up.
I don't know, but I mean, even Shireen talks about lots of dragon stories when she's talking to Davos. Yeah. And, she has a book called The Dance of Dragons and explains some of it to him and things like that. So, I mean, there's a lot of lore they can pull on here, and there's a lot of things that they can link in a way that obviously doesn't involve time travel or anything dumb like that. There's a lot of things they can link in a way of just having the family houses and things like that. So I'm super excited for it. And there's no better family to target for this than the Targaryens, who all go crazy when they're adults. Like they have a mental, like they have a genetic mental problem. Like, I mean, in real life, there are families who get hit by dementia earlier than other families. And that Seems like these people go fucking crazy around 30, 40 years old. And it's mentioned a few times in the series that, they're Targaryen. They go crazy. So, I mean, imagine watching several family members go crazy and be bitter at each other and, all start to feel like the walls are, caving in on their own empires. And I think that's just a recipe for awesome TV.
I think the point I was making, the big thing here is they have a big budget right off the bat. And while that's cool, it also means the show is under immense more pressure right off the bat. And if you want lots of seasons of this show, then you do need to be worried about that because it does need to provide results. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But I'm looking forward to it. I just want to go back to Westeros and just be in that world again. And I think the important thing is to not hope that it lives up to Game of Thrones in terms of like is equal. But even if it's like half of what Game of Thrones would be, that's still very successful. But again, Miguel Sapochnik, who did most of the big episodes on Game of Thrones, is the showrunner on this. So it makes a lot of sense.
And they got George's opinions on this. He's overseeing a lot of it and helping with the way people should be going and things like that too. Even if it's not things he's already written, he can be like, no. Targaryens wouldn't do this, or they should have this because they're, he can explain his world out and at least give a little bit of a direction and, help out with things. So from what I've heard, he's going to oversee in a way every single Game of Thrones property because they gave him some big contract just to be around for it, right?
Yeah, he got fat money. Money. It was just disgusting. I couldn't believe they paid him that much.
It's hard to believe that this could be anything but a success. But you're not striking the iron while it's hot right now. So we'll see. They let the flame go a little bit.
I think their goal here is to have like a bunch of stuff going at once, but realistically, 2 very successful Game of Thrones shows going at once that don't necessarily take place at the same point in time either. So I think the one they'll get a lot of eyeballs on, even though you know how it ends, is the Mad King. Young Ned, young Robert telling that story, the story that leads up to the war and then the war. I think you'd have a lot of eyeballs on that one. And I know it's one that the network has said they've considered. So
for sure. Yeah. No, that just makes sense. People want more, I want to see more Ned. I think everybody loved Ned before he got the X. So, what can you do?
You would have new performers, but like, I'm okay with that if you, do good in the casting.
I think they have to cast someone else.
For sure. Because I think 16 years has passed since the war or something like that at the beginning of Game of Thrones. So,
I never understand what the deal is with people being upset about recasting. I know you want characters to have the exact same, cadence and way they move and way they talk, but like, with Han Solo, I forget what his name is, but who's the character who played Han Solo in the Solo?
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah, it's so hard to remember his goddamn name. Anyways. I thought he did a fantastic job. Now, was he exactly like Harrison Ford? No, not at all. Was he the same sort of spirit about things? A little bit, but you can see that he had to grow to become Han Solo that he ended up being, right? He was a little bit more jaded after he got a little bit older. He's obviously had some shit experiences, which happened in that movie. But I thought he did a fantastic job and he was totally believable as Han Solo to me. So, but I think a lot of people, nothing other than Harrison Ford would have made them happy. No actor could have done it. And it's just because people don't like change. They want to be like, I want to feel the exact same way I felt about Star Wars back then. That's never going to fucking happen.
Nope. Once you have that feeling, it's gone. I've learned that the hard way. So
you can't go back to something in your childhood and feel the same way about it as an adult. You can kind of get that a little bit when you rewatch the same things as a kid, because you get it triggers the same things in your brain. But being an adult, you're probably going to be way more critical, way more grumpy, whatever. You're never going to get that same thing that you had as a child the same way. We're never going to feel the same way about, Halloween as we did Halloween 78 if you watched that one first and you were younger. And, you might say some of us like Halloween 4 better, myself included, but, you're probably not going to feel the way about any Halloween movie that comes out. You might feel like they're great or they're good, but it's really hard to beat what you loved when you were a kid.
God, Halloween 4. So good. So good. Anyways, that's going to do it for the Q&A, everybody. Appreciate you guys coming out and listening to us babble and talk a little bit of everything. Look forward to tomorrow. Kieran has the Rick and Morty fan show at 8, followed by Fandom Empire Live at 9. We'll see you guys then. Take it easy. Good night, Kieran. Hang on, we're still on. I'm reading the chat now. I'll be honest, I'm getting a little annoyed. Guys, if we missed an odd question or two, it happens. But most of these that are in the chat here are comments. So now, since I feel like we apparently missed something, I'm going to go back and look, because that's the type of condescending mood I'm in. Kieran, how far back can you see? Like, I can see all the way back at you're muted, by the way. I can see all the way back to Intel's super chat, and we did everything after that.
That was like a minute in, so
we answered reels. We answered Richards. Oh, pardon me, Solid's question. Sean, since Universal is doing something Wednesday, will they release a second trailer for Kills? Are they doing something Wednesday? I've received mixed reports on that. I received a report that they may have backed out late. So I don't know if I would assume they're doing anything at this point.
Yeah, I heard Universal backed out.
That's what I had heard too. Maybe they stuck around, but God, I hope not. You don't need another trailer yet. Fuck.
They need another trailer that drops in October, probably like October 1st or September or whatever. They usually have, it's the same trailer, but it's just chopped up differently, just to put it back on TV and get people hyped up right before the movie. Or sometimes they release one right after the movie comes out. So they're like, hey, if you didn't fucking like the other trailer, here's another one for you. It's re-chopped up stuff. It's never anything new, though. It's normally just cut in a different way. I don't know if you've seen that. Have you seen that before, where they put a trailer out? Like, it's usually the one that says, like, critics say this and 5.0 on this, and, like, they throw more of those in there. Mm-hmm. They re-chop up the movie they re-chop up the trailer and give you the same thing over again.
Yeah, I've seen them. Absolutely.
But that's probably all. Like, I would say that's all they need to do is throw in another one of those. just for people who haven't really picked up on the movie or trailers yet, get it out on different outlets for people to get excited about right before the movie.
We answered Real's question. Frank said, at this point, is there any Halloween kills question that haven't been asked? No, probably not. Bunch of comments. CJ said, asked, any chance of kills being moved up to, I'm assuming he means avoid Venom 2. Sounds like Venom 2 is moving, is what I would say.
I think that bigger budget movies like Venom are more afraid of the theaters being closed, like some, limited capacity than Halloween would be. But because like we've said before, Halloween kind of needs to, unless there's a really big reason, like there are no theaters open, then, Halloween needs to come out this year.
I've never seen Outlander. No, solid. Never seen Outlander.
That's a TV show, right?
No idea. And that's it. That was all the questions. So I don't know why everybody was making a big deal. Bloody hell.
I mean, it happens. When we have a lot of questions, we stay up till 3:00 in the morning. When we don't have a lot of questions, then we say, well, I guess there's no questions.
Yeah, no, I think we do a pretty good job of answering questions around here. So just wanted to go back and make sure. But just so we're clear, that doesn't mean we're going to put every comment that's made up on screen either. That we'd be here all night. But yeah.
Some nights, yeah.
Anyways, yes, if you ever feel like you don't get a question answered during a Q&A, then please let us know, and we will try to make sure that we get to everything. On regular show nights, don't forget to super chat, support the channel, and we'll get to the people that don't super chat as many as we can within reason, but that's always the number one way to have your question and or comment answered and or read on air. Kieran, thanks for doing this, dude.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.